Hi everyone, this is Sun with SunBurst Tarot, and today I wanted to kind of do a reading on Foodie Beauty, a YouTuber here on YouTube that's been known to get into some controversies within the community and with other creators. So just some, just looking at Foodie as a character, just with some context around her. So currently, she is a Canadian citizen who moved to Kuwait about a year ago. I think here in about a week or two, and just wanted to kind of do a general reading on her and what's kind of coming next for her, what's going on. Will she come back to Canada, as she has been in Kuwait now? Or I don't think she hasn't been back to Canada in a few months. And just kind of what's going on and everything around there. So, without further ado, I would just like to do a reading on her and see what we can get. And hopefully either help Chantal or even those in the community around here kind of understand what's going on, as sometimes or allegedly there are maybe half-truths, half statements said that no one's able to kind of comprehend. So without further ado, we'll get into the reading. But as we get into the reading, I just wanted to share all information that I'll be sharing here today is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Everything stated is opinion and not fact. So please don't go harassing creators. Don't go saying, hey, we heard this, that, and the other thing. Like, is this true? Is that not true? Kind of just keep it being like, oh, this is some information. And to see how this can help or affect others. Just kind of keep it positive, kind, and respectful to who we're talking about today. So, kind of just looking into Foodie. Just like initial perceptions I'm getting is like major heartburn. Like so sometimes I will like feel like conditions or like pains that others are feeling, and I don't know if it's like heartburn, like really really bad heartburn, but like right on the underside on the left I'm getting like discomfort, a little bit of pain. And then I'll say, like, this was really difficult to even start. Like my words are all getting jumbled up already in my head. And it's like there's a lot of flying. It's almost like, I don't know if like you see, like initial things that I'm getting right now is just, oh my goodness gracious, like we're in the middle of a tornado. The middle of the tornado, you're seeing like the guy go by on the bike in the Wizard of Oz, and it's like, there goes the bike guy flying past, and it's like, oh, there that goes, oh, there comes another thought, oh, there goes another thought. It's very much like a whirlwind with a bunch of different moving pieces that you're not even sure what they are. So like just initially getting into the energy of Chantal, everything feels very very scattered. It's actually really difficult to kind of piece things together, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. So I'm like, it's hard, like it's hard to breathe and hard to breathe. There's like shoulder tension, really bad, or like right in the middle of like the shoulder blades. It's like almost like a knot that you can't get rid of. And then now I'm feeling like left ankle pain. So I think there's a lot going on right now, health-wise, mentally, physically. Like there's just a lot going on, and it's almost like really, really hard to breathe. Like it's almost like it's like labored. So very, very labored. So okay, we're gonna try and step back out of that, go into the cards a little bit. So currently Foodie is living in Kuwait. She's been with her husband. her alleged husband now. There's been some questions about their marriage and stuff, but I just want to see how is her relationship with her husband. So we'll do a Foodie or Chantal. We'll do her husband, Salah. And then we're going to do just some energy between them. So, okay, so we'll do Chantal, which is the Five of Cups. Five of Cups upright. So Five of Cups upright, representing Foodie. It's almost like she's been looking on past relationships or other things that aren't in her life anymore, and because as you can see, it's like the owl is looking at essentially the spilled milk, and behind them is like 2 full glasses that you could like enjoy all the time. So just looking at that, it makes me feel like she's looking at past relationships or like the past of some sort. I do follow her a little bit, and I know there has been like allegations or like a lot like there was like an unhealthy attachment to I think her last partner or person that she was with. So I don't know if it's specifically about that, but it definitely feels like she's mourning something that is kind of just already gone and is not coming back, and what she has in front of her, she's not looking at. Seeing this as like a relationship between her and her husband, it's almost like there's nothing there. The emotions aren't there. Like, I'm not getting anything from this, and I hate it here or something and or other. So, oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to apologize if I have really heavy breathing. Everything just feels really, really heavy right now. So I'm going to try and keep it to the best, or not as heavy. So, okay. Now looking at Salah. So this is a Six of Wands reverse. So Six of Wands upright is typically about, it's like the guy on the horse typically coming back after a long fought battle with head held high, pride in what he's doing or what they have been doing, like all the accomplishments or the war that they just had. Sounds like it's the hero's welcome home. Seeing that here reversed, or wait, no, hold on. This is the Five of Wands. Sorry, not the Six of Wands, but Six of Wands. But okay. I misread that. I don't know why. This is really weird. This typically doesn't happen. What? Okay. So looking at the Five of Wands here. Five of Wands. So that's also internal conflict. A lot of internal conflict within oneself. So I think I see a lot of fighting within him for her husband. A lot of internal conflict. A lot of... It's almost like beating himself up, like this, like why not? Almost like I see it's like the phrase that comes to my mind is you're kicking yourself in the ass, and yeah, and I'm not sure. I mean, it could be, like I said, I follow them a little bit, so I know that this is allegedly a marriage of convenience between the two, and that there was potentially some like trying to like visas and trying to get people sponsored into Canada. So I'm wondering if this has anything to do with it. But seeing that for Salah, with the Five of Wands, it's almost like regret a little bit, which is what I'm kind of feeling. Internal conflict, regret, and not happy. Like, neither of these two seem happy. One seems really depressed. The other one seems really angry with themselves. So, for a year into a marriage, it makes me kind of concerned. And then seeing that between them, I see the Temperance card reversed. So Temperance is kind of all about balance. And seeing that in between the two of them, upright, it would be like, hey, no, they kind of have a really easy balance. Seeing this, Temperance card reversed for me is, I see lots of ups and downs. Ups and downs, I don't know if they allegedly, conspiracy, whatever, but what I'm hearing in my head and what I'm seeing in my head is like all out screaming fights, like all the time. And they aren't good. Like, this is like, these are nasty, nasty fights where they are like, someone's like slamming the door and just like leaving the place of residence. I see like screaming, I see throwing, I see like, I'm hearing like someone sobbing in a corner, but like screaming back at the same time. Like, are they violent in tone and volume and like presence? Yes. Like physically, no. But like, this is not a happy, loving relationship, at least from what I'm seeing from the cards. Like, I'm hearing like there's massive fighting, like massive, massive, massive fighting that I would be extremely concerned about. Especially with like someone super angry within themselves, so they could potentially be lashing out at other people. And then, because like once you've internalized it and then you just lash it out at others. And then with the Five of Cups having someone really depressed, like they're just not going to, like, everything being hurdled or like any words or mean things being said, like, it's like, whatever, I got, like, it's almost like indifference, is what I'm finding. It's like almost like indifference, where it's like, I don't have the emotional bandwidth to like even comprehend what's being yelled at me right now because I'm so damn depressed, because I'm looking at things that I wish I had or wish I didn't have. And not being able to see that, like, hey, there might be a way to, I don't know, solve this. But it's like, one's too deep in depression, one's too deep in anger to even figure it out. So the communication is almost like stifled a little bit, where it's like, this is so, like I said, this is all alleged, but I feel like this is really, like, this is like a whole, like a really, really, like, these fights are nasty, like, between these two. Like, it's nasty, nasty, nasty. Like, it's bad. Where I really hope that if they would do anything, like, this is, like, major couples counseling or even, like, separation. Like, because this isn't healthy for either of them. One's taking all their internalized hate for themselves and putting it onto another person, and the other person is like so depressed and like not even there that it's like they can't even function on a day-to-day. So like, so nothing's getting through. So like, staying in that same thing, like, it's not healthy. And like, I think if anything would happen, it would be someone just saying, I break up with you, I'm done, I'm gone, leave. And if it would happen with this Five of Wands person, who is Salah in this case. But like I said, everything's for alleged entertainment purposes only. Everything I say and or do is everything stated as an opinion and not a fact. So, looking at that as their relationship, I don't know right off the top, like I'm getting emotional right now, because I think it's just that bad. Like it's bad. Like, this is, and I'm just gonna pull some clarifiers here, for like kind of the underlying issues. So like the underlying issues, what are the big challenges that are going through right now, and then like what is the advice that we would give to this, and even as like a community of people, like this is just the advice I would give, because like there's some really hurt people here, like really, really hurt, and there's hurtful things being said, and it's sad. So kind of looking at what the underlying energy is here, I see the Eight of Wands. So with the Eight of Wands being kind of like the underlying or like the overall energy, so something's moving really fast that I think is not intended. Like, I know Salah and Foodie's relationship moved extremely fast. Where we thought they were maybe talking or like there was like talks or speculation that like they had maybe only been talking to each other for like a month or two before like she moved across the world to be with him. But like this feels like something's moving way too fast. Or like the speed in which this happened was not, it's unhealthy. Unhealthy, not well thought out, and it was almost like a gut reaction to just go and do it and not do anything else. Spur of the moment decision making that is coming to bite people back in the ass is what I'm kind of getting from that. Seeing what the challenge is, I see the Fool reversed. So this is being extremely, so the Fool upright is being just kind of happy-go-lucky, doing things, and kind of just going to the beat of your own drum and figuring it out as you go. It's kind of like a new adventure. Seeing the Fool here, the word that was brought to my mind is naivety. Someone was extremely naive in. The challenge was people were being naive about the expectations set for this move or this relationship. It was being extremely naive, not well thought out, did not know what was going on, and it's like a fool's hope and then everything kind of just crashes and burns around it. Both of them were naive, though. It feels like both individuals were naive about this situation and thought it was going to be something much, much different than what it is now. And I don't think either of them are coping very well at all. And it's now turning into these vicious, nasty fights. All right. Looking at the advice here, I have the Eight of Swords. With the Eight of Swords is kind of like anxiety, like not being able to move or do anything because you're like, you don't want to, or it's just the inability to. And so seeing the Eight of Swords here as the advice, it could be just the Eight of Swords. Yeah. The Eight of Swords were like, as the advice, I would say you're in a cycle. Both of them are in a nasty cycle that neither of them want to be in. It's almost like paranoia is up to the max on either side. And the advice here would be someone needs to step out of the cycle or out of the paranoia or out of the box that both of them are in so they can take the blindfold off and see what's really going on. But both of them are there and no one right now is moving. So someone needs to frickin' move and get out. Otherwise, it's just going to be a continuous circle. It's like the dog chasing the tail, and it's like you don't know that you're the dog. Like the dog is chasing its own tail. That's what it really feels like to me. And it's like someone needs to be like, wait, that's my tail, not someone else's tail. And essentially stop themselves so they can see that, you know what, there are other dogs to co-play with. You don't have to keep chasing the same thing over and over and over again. So that's what I'm seeing with the relationship in general. I now wanted to look at finances, for Foodie, because I know she's living in a more expensive country now, and just to kind of see where they're at. And I know she's had her views going down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of what's the overall energy of the finances and or career, and then we'll do kind of like what are the challenges that are going on, and then some of the advice. So, alrighty. And then, oh boy. Interesting. So the first two came out like really, really quick, and now the advice here is taking just a little bit of time. So sometimes the speed at which cards come out too can be really, really, can be indicative of a few things. In this case, I would like to say that like, what's going on, or like what's going on with the finances, and then what are the challenges with the finances? Like that's actually, that's pretty well known, but the advice is like how to get them, what to do about it is a little bit more complicated. So let's take a look at the overall energy for finances. So Eight of Cups is typically walking away, but in this case, walking, it's reversed. So what comes to my mind is that looking at finances and I think her career in general is that it's almost being like it's a forced walking away. This isn't, it's going to be a forced walk away. Cause like upright, you yourself are walking away from it and taking yourself out of a situation. I see here for finances, she's going to have to walk away from something, and I don't think she wants to, but it's going to be a necessity that I don't think she has control of, which makes me kind of curious to see what the challenges with that here are. So I see, the Three of Pentacles. It's this is what she's been working on forever. Like this is her YouTube legacy. This is her legacy that she wants to leave behind. This is her work. This is what she's been doing. This is the community that she's done. So I think she's gonna have a really tough time leaving what she has built, and she's also leaving behind the money. She's leaving behind the work that she's done. She's leaving behind the collaborations that she's done. Like she's essentially leaving behind. She's being forced to leave behind what has worked for her in the past, or the things that she has done. And I don't know if she knows how to do it. So I know her channel's been known for like doing mukbangs or food reviews. And I know there's a big new update with the TOS of YouTube where eating big portions of food is going to be against the new YouTube TOS. So I think she's potentially having to walk away from one of her major streams of income. And I'm thinking that's where it's being forced upon her. She doesn't want to leave it behind because that's what's made her money, gotten her views. And I think she's going to have difficulties finding the next project or the next form of content that she's going to be able to sustain herself on. And it's really sad. Not sad, but it's going to be really, really difficult, I think, for her to do to kind of change over that type of content. She's got a couple skeletons in her closet that people are very, very well aware of and dust off quite often. So looking at the advice here, I have the Queen of Swords. So seeing that as the advice, I think she should do more. So the Queen of Swords is all about kind of like speaking your truth, but it's speaking with certainty, speaking with clarity, and it's essentially telling your truth in a person. And for her, I see like her type of new content is her just talking to her audience, but it's talking to her audience not in like, oh, this is a story time, or oh, this is something that just happened on YouTube, but it's if she would talk about things on YouTube and she had research and clarity, and she was able to maybe like script some things out, I think that would be great content for her. As I think when she's informed about a topic, more than just people around, just like getting opinions or thoughts or opinions from people that kind of like are around her. I think if she actually went in and did the research and was like, because like the Queen of Swords is also about kind of owning your own thoughts and your sayings and your feelings, and expressing those really, really clearly. And I feel, and it's like not doing it in a fit of rage or in a fit of like word garble. This is like being very clear, very consistent, and very concise about what she's saying. I feel like this would actually be really good content for her. But she needs to be able to put in the effort and the research and really delve into a topic and understand it to be able to converse with others around her about it, I feel like this would be great content for her. And I think would actually do well for her in that kind of shift. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. Even if she did like a content about like even about like the new TOS with binge eating, and all of that sort of type of wording, I could definitely see her talking about it and her experiences with it, but and kind of being like, well, how has that affected her, and what are things that she could, like, that she's doing to maybe look at it differently. I don't know. It's just an idea. Will she do it? I don't know. Will she not do it? I don't know. But I do see her, if she does have like clear, concise research and knowledge on stuff, I feel like her honing in on that sort of content, like, I could see her doing well with it to be able to pivot away from what she's been doing. So, kind of going into the next thing. And this is a question that I've had. Is she going to come back to Canada? Or when is she going to come back to Canada? She has been in Kuwait in a while, for a bit. And I know a couple people, and I know her audience has been wanting to see her come back to Canada for a bit. And not just come back to Canada, but come see her family. And what does that look like? Oh my goodness. So, I just had some cards fall out. So I have the advice. So the advice card flew out already for Canada. And what I see here is the Six of Cups reversed. So Six of Cups upright is typically childhood. It can be a childhood card. It could be like a giving and receiving family, or like almost immediate family is kind of what I get, like brothers and sisters or moms and dads. But having it reversed here makes me feel like it's kind of like let go of all the old expectations of something. It's like let go of all the old expectations, or I'm kind of seeing as the advice of don't let old habits or old vices or old people prevent you from doing something when it comes to coming back, if you want to. So that's just my initial things there. That can change depending on what these two cards are, because that's a really interesting card to come out as some advice. But we'll look at the so coming back to Canada, I see for the overall energy, it's coming home. So Four of Wands is the home card. Coming back, joyous celebration, coming home. Is she going to come back? With this card here, coming home, it makes me feel like she wants to come home. Like this, like Canada is her home. So like seeing the Four of Wands here upright, I think is a really good sign that we'll see her back in Canada. And I think it'll be a pretty good time for her when she does decide to come back. Because I think she's going to be happy when she comes back. It'll be different, but, she'll have a good support network around her. She'll have people that she knows. So I do see her coming back to Canada with that Four of Wands, which is the home card. Looking at the challenges here, so I have the Knight of Swords as the challenge. So I think there's someone who's going to try and prevent her to coming back, or it's going to be a delay, a major delay in coming back. So the Knight of Swords in this scenario, when I flipped it over, the first thing I thought of was her husband, who is not originally from Canada. Like, he's originally, I believe he was born in Kuwait, but he is of Syrian nationality, so he has a Syrian passport. So, just looking at this Knight of Swords, like, I initially thought of him when it came to this card, so I think he's going to be the challenge of her coming back to Canada. And I think the challenge is that he wants to come with, because the Knight of Swords, up in the air, fly. You gotta fly across the ocean to get back from Kuwait to Canada. So it could be like it's going to be either travel. I could see this as being like airfare might be really expensive, or he like I see them both wanting to come to Canada. I think it's been stated that he wants to potentially come to Canada. I'm not sure. But like I said, all for alleged entertainment purposes only. But I feel like he's the reason why they haven't come to Canada, or she hasn't gone back to Canada yet. There's either a difficulty with airfare, or there's been a difficulty with him wanting to come along, and him being unable to come with. Because, like, the Knight of Swords should be like, woo, we can go right away. And in this case, you can't. It's like, no, you can't. So, because I'm getting the distinct impression if Chantal wants to come back to Canada, she's not coming back alone. She doesn't want to come back alone. She wants to bring her husband with her. And he's the hang-up of why they aren't in Canada, or why she has not come back to Canada. And then looking at that Six of Cups now with the home card and not being able to come back to Canada because someone's not able to come with. I think it still stands. Foodie and or Chantal is being like, sometimes you just need to let go of things. And you need to let go of old things so new things can come in. And yeah. So with that then, kind of just looking here a little bit. These are the major questions that I thought we could answer here today. If there's any other follow-up questions that you might have, or you want me to delve into when it comes to Chantal, you can leave them in the comments below. I read every single one of them. And I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you are. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you guys much, and bye.